I'd like to welcome everyone to the information session for the Social Entrepreneurship Challenge in the Asia Pacific, which will go under the very exciting acronym of CCAP. So I'd like to begin by saying welcome, hello, Selamat Datang, Selamat Siang, Svagat Hai, and Namaste. And I'd also like to begin by acknowledging the people of the Kulin Nation on whose lands Monash University is situated, and pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. I'd also like to welcome all of you, our attendees, from wherever you are. So you're joining us from various countries, from India, Australia, and Indonesia. So this actually might be an historic occasion with the most people in a virtual session from these different countries at any one time. And I'd really like to welcome, I'm very honored to welcome our panelists. We have Pak Elnat Aldi, who is Undergraduate Affairs Supervisor at the School of Economics and Business at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia. I'll also get Pak Elnat Aldi to say hello very shortly, and I'll introduce also Professor Ronita Chaudhuri from, she's the Assistant Dean for Startup at OP Jindal Global University in India. Hi Ronita. I'd like to also welcome Richa Srivastava, if I pronounced that correctly, and Vaibhav Chabra from Makers Asylum. So they're just waving there. And I'd like to welcome also my excellent colleague, Bodine Hedwards from Monash University from the Arts Faculty. My name is Matthias. I'm also from the Arts Faculty at Monash University. You can call me Matt. I'm happy to go by the name of Matt. So this is a quick overview of today's session. We're going to have a look at this new exciting unit. Why is it? What is it? Why participate? You're going to meet the team and their countries. We're going to have an overview of the program itself from Makers Asylum. We're going to have a look at some social entrepreneurship examples from our respective countries. We're going to have a quick look at assessment and how to enroll. And then we're going to have time for questions at the end. So in relation to questions, just hold on to those. And when it's time, I'll tell you, and you can post those in the Q&A tab. You'll see the tab at the bottom of your screen. So we will respond to those questions at the end. So what is CCAP? CCAP, so it's a virtual, intercultural and regional collaboration. And virtual, intercultural and regional collaboration is as important as it's ever been as we try to combat and find solutions to a range of key challenges in the Asia Pacific. So this unit is the product of a virtual regional partnership and collaboration, which is really exciting. And so in this unit, you will also get to work virtually and collaborate with fellow change makers in your region in the Asia Pacific. So this project is a pioneering partnership between leading innovation and design school Makers Asylum, which is now based in Goa, formerly in Mumbai, and also leading regional universities, OP Jindal Global University in Delhi, in India, Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia in Jakarta, and Monash University in Melbourne, Australia. So are you ready for the challenge, right? This is a challenge to you. This is your challenge to find solutions to regional problems, to become a social entrepreneur. So this unit, this program will give you hands-on practical experience with social entrepreneurship and collaboratively working with your peers to develop and pitch innovative solutions using the Sustainable Development Goals as a framework. So you will get to work in interdisciplinary and international teams to tackle hands-on some of our region's most pressing sustainable development issues. And the exciting thing is that you're doing this for university credit. Okay, so it's a very practical hands-on unit for university credit. So why social entrepreneurship? Now, as you'll see, hopefully in that diagram, it might be a bit hard if our images are blocking it, so I'm not sure, but social enterprises are hybrid enterprises. So they sit between creating social value and creating financial value, okay? So they have those value propositions and they try to meet both of those. So they have a double bottom line, often a triple bottom line, because that social value that they're creating is also often related to positive environmental outcomes. So that's what makes social entrepreneurship a really effective model, a powerful model for finding solutions to what are interconnected social, economic, and environmental problems, which are framed in the Sustainable Development Goals that you'll see on your screen there. So social entrepreneurship and social enterprises tackle social, economic, and environmental problems. So it makes it a great fit for looking at Sustainable Development Goals and finding solutions to those in our region. So why participate? So it's really important in this current context to learn how to collaborate, to innovate, to communicate virtually and across cultures. So this unit's going to give you that unique opportunity to collaborate with different people from different cultures and different regional contexts. It's going to give you some really crucial, practical innovation and design skills, and not just the developing and innovating skills for finding solutions, but how to pitch those ideas and those solutions. So you'll be developing virtual collaboration skills as well between diverse peoples, diverse cultures, diverse contexts. Virtual collaboration is going to be more and more important as we head into the future, really important professional skill. And you'll also be able to expand your social and professional skills and networks, working with like-minded people in Australia, in India, in Indonesia, and therefore developing really strong social and professional networks as well, and learning from each other. So when is this all taking place? So we're going to have a pre-program for CCAP, which begins on around the middle of December this year. So in that pre-program period, which will be done entirely online and largely in a self-directed way, you'll be working through online tasks and assessment. And that pre-program period will also allow you to meet your peers virtually and meet your team members. That will close on the 17th of January, just before the program itself begins. And the program itself, which is really exciting, and Vaibhav, Richa are going to talk to you about the program shortly, will begin on the 18th of January and conclude on the 29th of January, 2020. So that'll be the Intensive Model Incubator Program, entirely delivered online. And you'll be focusing on innovation and design, developing those skills. You'll be getting mentorship support. You'll be collaborating with your team members, and you'll be undertaking some individual and team assessment. So now's our chance to meet the teams and meet our countries. So firstly, we'll introduce the Australian team members, which is myself, Matthias, and as I said, you can call me Matt, and Dr. Bodine Hedwards also goes by the name of Bo. And we'd just like to share why we're really excited about the program. So personally, I'm really excited about the program because it gives us an amazing opportunity to meet and collaborate with and learn from different people from different cultural contexts, and to help us also form partnerships with those people and form networks and work collaboratively with them. Bo, would you like to introduce yourself and share why?
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We're really, really excited about this program. So my name's Bo. I'm a lecturer at Monash University working with Matt and the team here. And I'm beyond excited about this program, primarily because we think that what we will see come out of this are some really incredible ideas and solutions to some really big challenges. You are going to be working with world-leading organizations, with thinkers, with change makers, and importantly, with other young people that we believe you will eventually go on and do wonderful things with. This is an opportunity to meet and engage and learn from new people in different parts of the world in a time of completely restricted travel. We know it's important, so this is an opportunity to get together and really think through what your contribution can be in leading the regional relationships and solutions to some of these big issues. So we're very excited to have you all here today learning more about the program.
It's fantastic. Thanks, Bo. So just some fun facts about Australia for those of you who have never been here before. So something really incredible about Australia is that the original inhabitants, Aboriginal peoples, have occupied Australia for more than 65,000 years. So Aboriginal Australian cultures are the longest continuing cultures on the planet. And Australia itself is incredibly multicultural and culturally diverse. So as you'll see with all those flags in the map of Australia, and just to emphasize this point, Monash University is located in a local government area called the City of Monash. And just in the City of Monash, if we're looking at the demographics and the population, 24% of the City of Monash is of Chinese ancestry, okay? And 6.7% is of Indian ancestry. And that is actually higher than the average for Greater Melbourne, and it's increasing. It's increased from 2011. So this data is based on the census from 2016. So just to show how culturally diverse Australia is, and therefore how much we like learning about different cultures as well, and interacting with people from different cultures. So that's another reason why we love this project. So I'd like to introduce Pak Elnath Aldi, who will talk about his team and his university.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy joining with you from Australia, from Indonesia also, and from India. My name is Elnath Aldi. I'm from Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia. This is our team, Miss Lydia Kusuma Dewi, Miss Angelia Kusuma Hadi, and Miss Novia Utami. And this picture is a portrait of our university, our new campus located outside Jakarta, only an hour from our main campus. Our campus located in Jakarta, in the central of Jakarta, and actually we'll be very happy to join with Monash and Jindal and also Makers.
Thank you so much. And I think you also have a fun fact about Indonesia to share.
Yes, this is one of the biggest creature in Indonesia, and this is a Komodo dragon, and it's only live in 5 islands in Indonesia. This is that's why we call Indonesia is the home of the world largest lizard in the world, and wow. It's only live in 5 islands in Indonesia, in Komodo Island, in Rinca Island, Padar Island, Mateang, and Flores. So if you have a chance to visit Indonesia, feel free to visit to see the world's largest lizard.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much, Pak Elnath. So now we get the pleasure of meeting the team from OP Jindal Global University in Delhi, India. Professor Ronita Chaudhuri.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Ronita. I'm here on behalf of OP Jindal Global University. I'm working on this project alongside Professor Jeremy Wade. I do see some of our JGU students here, Navya, Priyal, Bhavya. So glad to have you guys part of this info session. So OP Jindal Global University is actually one of India's top private liberal arts universities. And we've been collaborating with the team at Monash and Atmajaya through our Startup JGU Center, which I run, as well as through JSIE, which specializes in social innovation and entrepreneurship. So it's been a pleasure. I'm so glad, that Bo and Matt and the team have reached out and included us in this program. I think our students are going to love this. And it's all being led by the fantastic group who's in Goa, and I'm very jealous because as you can see, I'm in a sweater here in Delhi. So I'm very, very jealous of you guys and makers, but you guys have really created a great program. As far as India fun facts, I mean, for those that do live here, you guys, some of these things might just be old hat, but for those of you that aren't too familiar with India, there's been a huge digital boom in the past few years. Currently at 500 million smartphone users, that's gonna, go up by 320 million in, just about 1 to 2 years. So the opportunities that exist with smartphones and connectivity, connections, and the use of digital technology is one that we've only seen the start of, right? And there's so much more that can happen. And the second part of this, is digital payments. UPI, I'm sure some of my Indian students use this on the daily. UPI is, I think, United Payments Initiative, or it stands for a payment service, where it's a digital payment service that is incredibly popular here in India, where you can pay bank to bank quite fast and quite easy. So it's already crossed 1 billion transactions and it has 100 million active users. So if you're paying for your pizza, if you're paying for gifts, if you're paying for your rent, you can just do it all through a UPI ID, and that's linked to your bank account. So there's going to be a lot more going on in this space, and I think it's fun to know how India is developing this way. On the other forefront, so there's this idea of, India in the cloud and India, digital India. But on the ground, there's a lot going on. I mean, OP Jindal University is right outside of Delhi. Clearly one of the most populated cities in the world. There are lots of people. There's huge, the whole sprawl is very, very large. And, the interesting thing about Delhi is that it's actually still the second most forested capital in the world. I think Nairobi is #1, and Delhi, despite the sprawl and the buildings and everything, has a huge amount of tree cover, which people are trying to protect. And this idea of growth of cities versus natural environment and sustainability and the intersection between those two is an area to look out for. One of my favorite parts about Delhi, of course, though, are the birds. With all this kind of forest cover near sort of river that's sort of functioning, there's some really, really wonderful birds. And, even this little bird kind of comes by the window sometimes. So there's a lot of natural environment resources, and resources in the sense of just, a lot of living things living together in this city. So that's a fun fact. So if you ever do come to Delhi, please check out the parks, check out the forest, check out the bird sanctuary. It's kind of hidden gems.
Thanks, Ronita. That's incredible. I'd love to get to Delhi very soon. I've been to Mumbai, and I know there's a lot of forest there as well in Mumbai. So it's always surprising to learn these facts about India, such a diverse place. So I'm just going to scroll forward now so we can meet the fantastic team at Makers Asylum, and I'll welcome Richa and Vaibhav to introduce themselves and then the program.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Bo, and thank you, everyone, for having us today. Super excited to be speaking to all of you from different parts of the world. My name is Richa, and I'm the managing partner at Makers Asylum. I have a mixed background of corporate work, engineering, business management, and community work. So it's been a mix of things. And Vaibhav, you can introduce yourself.
Hey guys, this is Vaibhav Chabra. I'm a mechanical engineer. I've been running Makers Asylum for about 7 years now. It started off as a fun side project, and now it's grown into a community makerspace in Mumbai, and then now in Goa. This is something how the space looks like. The space started off about 7 years back in a small little garage in the suburbs of Mumbai to create a community space for people like us to share tools and to make our ideas happen. Anything from making furniture to anything from making a satellite ground station. It was just a place with all the tools where people from different backgrounds would come together and work on different things. So that's how Makers Asylum started about 7 years back. And over the years, it's become a nice, exciting space to alternatively learn different skills, anything from, you can imagine, from 3D printing, laser cutting, carpentry, welding, electronics, to learning about the SDGs and rapid prototyping, design thinking, and coming up with solutions for that. That's what we primarily focus on. Over the years, we've been doing various programs and we've been designing various experiences for people like you and us to come together and really have a great time while learning, and really helping us to find passions rather than reading a book, perhaps. And that's what the philosophy of the space has been, to be able to find a passion and then work towards it. We have a little video of this Team School program that we started with, that we host every year for the past 4 years in Mumbai, along with UNESCO, the French Embassy, and a few other partners. We would love for you guys to see it, because this is what our program is going to be based on. This, however, was physically present at Mumbai inside the physical space. However, this year we're going to be doing all of those things digitally across the world. So I think it's a super duper exciting time where we can imagine no borders, where we can imagine a lot more possibilities. And that's something what we want to work with all of you on imagining those possibilities and making it happen at a much, much, much larger scale. And that's what we're really excited about. But I want you to see this video to understand a little bit about how this program was designed on ground, and just to break it to you that this year we expect it to be much more exciting with all of you digitally. So please go ahead and watch this.
Team School is teaching a whole new paradigm about how to come up with solutions. If we can connect students to makerspaces, we are going to go from the old paradigm of learn by rote to actually learn by doing.
Team School is bringing a lot of young talents. They need to address the needs of the community or the communities. You're the perfect emblemation or summary of Bonjour India.
For the first edition last year, we had 36 participants, 6 teams of 6 people. This year, we have more than 100 participants. We have around 15 French participants as well, so it's really an Indo-French event.
The STEAM School idea is to actually embed the innovator in the context of where the end users reside. So they get exposed to it in such a visceral way, to the extent where it becomes their own problem. Makerspaces are wonderful places where you can go from idea to prototype very quickly.
The results of STEAM School 2 is the realization that, wow, you know, India is a miracle in some respects.
Thank you, Matt.
So exciting.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and this year we're very, very excited to bring some of this energy online. And one of the most important parts of the program is that you'll be learning a lot from each of you. So there is a lot of hands-on actual making going to be happening from home and sharing of ideas. There's not going to be only sitting in front of a screen. And we promise that that's what we all are working really hard on, to make sure there is a lot of collaboration, excitement, and hands-on work, and not just listening to a bunch of us blah blah over here. So really looking forward to working with all of you and learning from all of you, while sharing some of our ideas on how we can work together and come up with really exciting projects. Thank you.
Fantastic. You'll be bringing the workshop to our homes. So that's what virtual mobility is all about. So we're just going to run through very quickly some examples from our countries of social entrepreneurship in relation to the Sustainable Development Goals. This is a really exciting social enterprise called Envision Hands from Australia. And what they do is they upcycle plastic bottle tops and, using a 3D printer, create plastic prosthetic limbs for young people who need them. So they deal with what is considered a waste product and make it into a resource. And in so doing, they intersect with a range of sustainable development goals. So they also employ people from disadvantaged socioeconomic backgrounds. So it connects with good health and well-being. So it improves the health and well-being of the young people who have disabilities. It creates good work, decent work and economic growth, provides economic opportunities. It reduces inequalities. It reduces carbon emissions and by reusing materials. And it also deals with the waste problem. So it reduces contamination in the waterways and on land. So as you can see, it intersects with the range of the Sustainable Development Goals, and therefore is a great example of social entrepreneurship as well, because it's balancing all of those social, economic, and environmental objectives. So we have also an excellent example from Indonesia, and this is from Atmajaya Catholic University, Pakal Nataldi.
Thank you, Matt. Right now, Atmajaya creating entrepreneurship module, working with UNDRR, United Nations for Disaster Risk Reductions. And I hope in the next month we'll implement this module. And also we ask students to join with us to help small medium enterprise especially in Jakarta. Also, Atmajaya support target gender equality, and we promote gender equality among in our student organizations and also in our organizations in Atmajaya. We believe that Atmajaya, by implementing woman empowerment principle, and we can make a contribute on SDGs number 5. And last thing, that Atmajaya believe that no one can solve global problems alone. That's why we're very happy to join with Monash, Jindal, and Makers to help our students to come up with a new idea that can solve problems in SDGs. And also, this is a good opportunity for us, our students, to collaborate with students from Monash and Jindal. I think this project, this event, give our students a new perspective. Thank you, Matt.
Sorry, I was just muted. Thanks for sharing that. That's fantastic. We'll just move on to the next slide. We have a really interesting example from India. Ronita?
Yeah, so this is one of the examples. I mean, India does have a very robust civil society. And so there's many organizations doing a lot in social entrepreneurship. One I wanted to highlight was MESH, or is MESH. Their MESH stands for Maximizing Employment to Serve the Handicapped. And so they're a bit of a cooperative where they have different producer groups across India helping to make different items, everything from aprons to pillowcases to, you know, picture frames, coasters, kitchen towels, what else? Jewelry. But the thing is, all these producer groups do employ either people with disabilities that are handicapped or women. And so, you know, whether you have producer groups where the employees actually have leprosy, or there's women living with AIDS, or single and widowed women, they help train them and then help, you know, give them the designs. They have a very interesting organization where they bring in designers from, you know, Sweden and Belgium, and they bring them in, help them create the patterns and designs, and then provides them to the producer groups to make. And in that way, you know, you're supporting, you know, decent work and economic growth, good health and well-being, because now a lot of these employees are able to, you know, provide for themselves, right, and their children. And you know, they do work with extra waste garments, garments, I should say, fabrics. So they're able to bring that recycling element into their whole business model. And then what MESH does is provide them that design and research aspect, and also the online platform to then sell their products.
It's an excellent example, and again, intersecting with many sustainable development goals. So a really innovative social project. And there's so many in India and in Indonesia and in Australia. So you'll get to explore all of those and develop your own solutions and your own innovations. So just quickly looking at the learning objectives. So this is what we're going to be focusing on. This is what you're going to be developing through the unit. Obviously, you'll be focusing on concepts and theories that underpin social entrepreneurship, innovation, and design. Then you'll be applying those to real-world examples of social entrepreneurship, innovation, and design, and obviously developing your own innovation solutions, your own social enterprise ideas. You'll be reflecting on social innovation, social enterprise within different cultural contexts. You'll be collaboratively working together to design and pitch a social innovation idea, and you'll be collaborating and communicating using virtual and digital platforms. So this is a quick outline of the assessment. You'll be doing online assessment before the program begins. So that'll comprise of some online lessons, which will help you develop those key concepts and theories and understand those before the program begins. You'll be engaging with your peers and us. So we'll be creating a learning community through forum contributions. And then you'll be also undertaking individual reflections about your experience and creating your own e-portfolio. And you'll also be working with team members on your team assessment to develop your own social enterprise and your own innovation idea. So that will be in the form of a website, and you'll also pitch your idea. Bo, did you want to mention anything about the pitch aspect, or is there anything to add there?
No, not really, other than just to say that you know, a big part of this is to give you an opportunity to get feedback directly from leading industry experts. We're bringing people from across each of the participating countries to talk to you about your ideas, to give you feedback and help you build the networks, you know, that if you want to take this forward, you absolutely can. So while it's an assessment, it's also a really fantastic opportunity.
Sorry, mute myself, unmute. So this is some information about enrollment. So each university obviously has a bit of a different setup. For Monash students, it's important to note that the unit name is Social Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Design in in the Asia Pacific, and the unit code is ATS2170/3170. So you can take it as a second year unit or a third year unit. We encourage you to enroll through Monash Student Services. Do that online. Enroll before the 1st of December, and I'm the contact person if you have follow-up questions after today's session, and that's my email address there. So Atmajaya Catholic University students, they will be enrolling, registering their interest at that link there, and they also need to do that before the 1st of December. And OP Jindal Global University students also have a registration process for registering interest at the link, and I think you will, we can share that link with the students, correct, Ronita?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so we can possibly put that in the chat if you have that, and we can also post that Atmajaya Catholic University students link there as well in the chat. So we're just about to wrap up soon, but just some things you need to note to participate in the program. You need to have a stable internet connection. It's going to be really important. Obviously, everything is done online. Your collaboration is done online, or your learning is done online. So stable internet connection, having a personal device or one that you can access that has a microphone and a webcam is really important. For the program period between the 18th of January and the 29th of January, you should be available for 3 to 4 hours a day. So for Australian students, that's going to be in the afternoon, the late afternoon. And for Indonesian students, that'll be happening at around midday, starting around midday. And for Indian students, that'll be starting earlier in the morning, I think around 9. And obviously, we want you to be enthusiastic to collaborate with people, with your team members. Okay, that's a really important thing you have to invest in the program. Okay. So now it's just time for some questions. There are no silly questions. There are no dumb questions. This is how we learn. So you can actually post the questions in the Q&A tab, as I mentioned before. Make sure you mention which university that you're from there, so we know. And if we can't give you an answer now, we will follow up with you because we have all your contact details. Okay.
So I've got one question here that I think is just important to quickly touch on for everyone, and it's what's the time commitment for the pre-program? Now, this is very much a you get in what you get out of it, what you put in. It's not a heavy time commitment at all. You can do it right into the lead up. You can do it before. You can do it ultimately whenever you get the time over that period. We're opening it quite early in comparison to other programs to ensure that you do have a significant amount of time to be able to complete those tasks, and more information about that for Monash students just specifically will be on Moodle, and we'll send out some information after this.
Thanks, Bo.
So we've got a student from JGU here. How will the team formation take place? It's actually going to be random, but please do expect that you will be working with students from different backgrounds, from all of the different countries. They might be doing completely different degrees, ranging from science to engineering to business to music to all sorts of things. So we take into account that we want you to be in interdisciplinary teams, as well as teams with students from each of the different countries.
Yeah, and we'll have a process to select the teams where you get to actually express your skill set and your disciplinary background. So we'll have the team set up so they are interdisciplinary and they are international.
Are the hours flexible or fixed times? They are fixed. Now they're fixed for so that everyone can participate from across each of the different countries. So we've had to take into account different time zones. And it's really important to just remember that this will actually give you a real world experience about what it's like to work with teams from across different countries and across the region. So, you know, we want you to have that first-hand experience. So that's why it's quite fixed for the intensive period.
Okay, what else have we got here?
Can the unit count for Monash students? The unit can count towards some overseas study points.
Yeah, that's right. So if it needs to count towards overseas study points, it can. And we will register, if you're a BGS student, we're going to register that. So if you're a BGS student, that can count towards your overseas requirement.
There's a great one that I'm going to throw across here to the team at Makers. How would you do hands-on work with things like prototyping without the tools? Now, this is a really fun response that I'll throw across to you to respond to.
So what we've done is we've planned a lot of exercises that we're going to be doing, and there is going to be a small list of things that we're going to ask you to keep at home before the program, so that what we can do is we can actually create working paper prototypes of our ideas to be able to share those thoughts amongst everyone digitally. There is going to be a lot of icebreakers and teamwork time where you'll be working with the teams independently offline without the time that we're going to be. And this all integrated inside the program. And we'll be teaching you a bunch of little tricks and tips on how we can use paper prototyping effectively to be able to create stuff at home.
Yeah, but we'll also be having a lot of skill building exercises for a couple of days where you get to learn a bunch of skills as well, which could be design, which could be other technologies like virtual reality content development or app-based development, so that you can create like quick solutions without the need of a lot of equipment, because we do understand there's a constraint, but in most cases, the prototyping from home is something that we've been researching on. So I think that will be the part which will be the most exciting one.
It's really important to remember that you really don't need much to be creative and to be innovative and to think about different solutions. While you may not be able to build it right now, we will be giving you exposure to the tools and the methods and the theories to think through how you can going forward.
So there was a question around a certificate from OP Jindal University, whether a certificate will be given for the program. So
yeah, hi Utsav. So let's can you just register through the link, and then I'll speak to you directly. It depends on your school and the course credits per school. So let's connect offline, and that goes for all the JGU students. Please register through the link so then we can have a separate conversation on your school, the course credits, the certificate, if any, from JSIE and the start of JGU.
Thanks, Vanita. So just an estimate of the hours. You already said that, Bo, right? I mean, there'll be some online lessons to do, 4 online lessons, and each one wouldn't at this stage probably won't take more than an hour. So it might be around 4 hours max of the online lessons, and then some forum participation. So you'll just be posting something to a forum based on the lessons. So based on the content of the lessons. So again, that wouldn't take very long. They're short answers. So yeah, not too much at all.
Now I've just got one final question, and then we'll wrap up. And I encourage everyone to reach out to each of your representatives from the university with all the other questions. But there is just one that I want to touch on because I think it's really exciting and speaks to the heart of what this program is about. And it's from Monash Australia, and it's about, I won't name you, but just wondering, if we come up with an innovative idea through this program, can we take it forward as a social enterprise on our own? Absolutely, 100% yes. Bringing industry in to help you and to provide mentorship and exposure to different ideas and networks, both professional and social, we do that so that you can have these and use these to mobilize the idea that you have. There's lots and lots of incredible experts that will be participating in the program to talk to you about different experiences and different tools and ideas. But we absolutely encourage you to take these ideas forward, because, well, ultimately there's lots of really large challenges that we all need to address. and it's kind of up to us. So I'll throw back to Matt, but yes, basically.
Yeah, that's an excellent answer, Bo. Thank you very much. I think we have all of the questions answered, right? And as we've said, we can follow up with all of the contact people at your relevant institutions. So obviously, I'm your contact person at Monash, Art Student Services. You have the 2 registration forms for OP Jindal Global and Atmajaya Catholic University. And I suppose we might be able to conclude the program by thanking everyone in each language. So we have terima kasih, dhanyavad, and thank you. Thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks to all the panelists as well.
Bye.
Bye.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.